Up next, as part of our 4 on 3 season, we join award-winning artist Satchmo Klein and find out just what it takes to become an artist. The following programme contains strong language and explicit nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
So you want to know how to become an artist? Here's my first piece of advice. Never, ever go to art school. My name's Satchmo Klein. I'm only 25 years old, and so far in my short career, I've enjoyed worldwide acclaim from both critics and civilians alike. I've been asked to make filmic portraits of President Obama, the Queen, and even the popular rock outfit, the Ob-J. I'm already being hailed as the most cutting-edge fine art filmmaker since Andy Warhol's, and more notorious than Damien Hirst. So, what did it take to become an artist? Over the next few weeks, we'll be charting my rise to fame, fortune, and international acclaim, all the way from the early days, 3 years ago, wasting time studying art in the sleepy seaside town of Brighton, England, to right now, in LA. Now, my old lecturers don't know that I'm the one who set this whole thing up. They think that we're making a documentary, but you'd call it more of an expose. During the time that my crew will spend with them, I'm going to try and set the cat amongst the pigeon in various ways. See if you can spot Los Manos de Dios behind it, huh?
In a postmodern world, art is free. Well, free to those who can afford it. Yes, postmodernism conveniently arrived post-capitalism. Everything is freely available for a price, and life is like a pick-and-mix sweet shop where you can sample bits of whatever you like and create a whole new global identity if you're lucky enough to be a white man or a white man's wife from the West. The last poor artist died in the 80s, knuckles white as he clutched his blackened potato. Sure, some artists have their integrity, but the bottom line is nowadays, if you can't afford to become an artist, you won't dare to dream it for yourself. Yes, for artists in a postmodern world, this is an awakening. You are no longer defined by your borders, you are no longer defined by your culture or your education, you are defined only by your money. The artist struggle is now over. You can go shopping for ideas in one gallery and make whatever you find there your own simply by displaying it in another, or even buy your artworks ready-made from a local trade bathroom merchants. If you've enjoyed holidaying on the breadline, find the idea of cruel winters in poorly maintained properties romantic, and can spare a few quid down Brick Lane enough for a Bindix team with your Burberry, then you might just be an ideal candidate for art school.
It's the first day back at art school, and the third years are discussing ideas for the term ahead. India has just presented her piece to the class.
So, perhaps you can tell me a bit more about this. I mean, presumably it's a bit of institutional critique, or...
Yeah, I don't know really. I was just thinking about how it's my last year and thinking about what I've got out of being here so far, which is loads. So thought I'd speak about that really.
But you've used a quotation, haven't you? I mean, presumably that's not your work.
Yeah.
So whose is it?
Satchmo Klein. It's off his blog.
Now what they don't know is, I gave India this piece. To fuck with them.
Yeah, Satchmo Klein was a student of ours who graduated 5 years ago. He was one of our brightest stars, picked up by Saatchi and knows Joplin and friends with Saul, so we're very excited about to see where he goes next.
The quote your student used this morning seemed to be quite critical of his time at art school.
Well, yes. Yeah, I'd like to say we're very good friends.
You're a practicing artist too, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm very involved with Gaff and Bullshit Productions, who are two of the most avant-garde organisations working within the moving image. Last year, I was in a show called Yawn, and I was so very excited to be working with the most cutting-edge artists of our time. Suffice to say, we did not.
First offense. That was what I always hated about my teachers, especially Gideon. They were always more interested in their own work or their mates' work than what I was doing. You know, I don't think they really cared about me at all. Not until now. Missed the trick there, huh?
Well, I've been lecturing alongside my career as an artist for about 10 years.
What made you want to become an educator?
Oh God, lots of things really. I mean, I've obviously enjoyed a little bit of celebrity as an artist, and I've travelled the world. I've met some really fascinating people. You know, I count Anish and Jeff as some of my closest friends. I mean, best friends really. And I've made quite a bit of money. You know, so I just wanted to give something back. You know, when I was a student, I would really have enjoyed having somebody with so many connections at the helm. You know, somebody who is actively participating in the art community, you know, and somebody who's relevant, you know, who understands what it's like to be relevant.
Do the students appreciate you, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a thankless task. I don't know if they appreciate the thought and care that I personally put into every session, every activity. You know, sometimes I'll catch them looking bored or, you know, playing on their phones or, you know, even falling asleep. No, really, it's about the relationships. You know, I like to say to them, you know, if you trip, if you fall, don't worry. I'll be there to catch you. You know, and I think that's what they appreciate. That I try to be there 100% of the time for them, at least 20% of the time.
Hey, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
Did you get my email?
What email?
I sent you an email last week asking for help with my idea.
Right, well, did you get my email?
You replied, did you?
No, the email where I said I'll only be replying to emails between 7 and 9 a.m. on a Monday morning. So if you miss that window, I won't be able to reply until the following week. I'm far too busy organising the gala for Israel. Is any of this ringing any bells?
No.
Besides, I'm far too busy to give you ideas. I'm running out of ideas myself.
I've got an idea.
I'm having to recycle ideas I used years ago. Okay?
You don't know how many times I heard that. My lecturer saying, I can't help you if you can't help yourself. Fortunately, there were some good cops in the joint. Otherwise, I would have blown my brains out. And I'm sure they would have milked that publicity cow dry. Next, let's meet Mary. A bit of a rule breaker. The original punk. But a sweet lady who I found most helpful.
Yeah, so just drag that down there.
Okay, here.
And then, click on that.
Right.
What are you doing?
I was just giving Abby a copy of the Goddard film.
Oh. Right.
Should I just keep...
But didn't I say to you this last week to stop doing this? I mean, if someone sees you giving copies of films to our students, and they're going to think we're operating a video piracy ring.
Well, no one's going to know.
Well, you know, it's...
I don't have to if you don't think it.
Well,
Who are you here to see today? I knew his name.
I don't know. Who are we here to see today?
Holly.
His name isn't Holly, he's a man.
Holly Screed. He's that.
Probably one of Gideon's mate, in my experience.
Just make a widely generous sound.
just a move to the left, and I think everything probably would have slotted. I was expecting. Does anybody know where everyone is? Okay. Well, this is Horace Gree. He's come here to tell us a bit about his work and practices in style. He worked with me on Yawn and has had works displayed in New York, Paris and Milan. So please, give him your full attention.
Thanks, Keith. And hello everyone. How are we all doing? Great. Yeah. So, I've been working in moving image, or the pictures, for the last 5 years since I left university. But straight out of uni, I worked in a vegan sourdough bakery in Hoxton. Did that for a couple of years. And then, you know, one day I just thought, no, you know, fuck. They were making brave, fresh bread. I wanted to make brave, fresh films. So, I chucked that in and moved south of the river, into a studio flat in Bermondsey. Jake came with me. Dinos was heartbroken. That's Jake and Dinos Chapman, obviously. I worked with them on that Hitler one. That was seminal, yeah. In terms of my work as an artist, I'm mostly concerned with walls. These things that are made out of the earth in some amazing way. Yeah. I mean, they shelter us and they protect us. But they also divide us. And I, the artist, have to deal with these objects constantly. My work is projected or hung onto walls a lot. Or I'm living between four walls. Sometimes more. I mean, fuck, I can't even get away from them in my studio. Sometimes I project images of myself onto the wall. And I'm like, whoa, am I the wall too?
You know, this reminds me of that piece you did in uni, where you encased yourself in breeze blocks.
10,000 leagues under the breeze.
Yeah, that's right. But you left that little mouth hole, didn't you? Like Samuel Beckett. Yeah. I mean, it was like, I mean, what's he even trying to say?
That was one of the best bits about the piece. You didn't even need to read about it, because I could tell you with my mouth. Let me give you an example. Just get a picture up here. Seems to be a little bit of... Sorry, is this your technician?
Yeah, Tone. Perhaps you would like to give him a hand, yeah? Yeah? And come on, mate. You're supposed to have this set up before the start of this session.
She's been asleep because Hollis has been talking for so long. How hard can it be, man? I mean, fuck. You're making me look really unprofessional. I mean, no offence, man.
Poor downtrodden Tony. Probably the only one of them who can use a camera, or, I don't know, hold a conversation.
Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting tired and I need someone to rely on. Dear talk, please. Only we know.
This week, we're back to roots, to the art school where I studied for my first degree. Of course, since then, I've been awarded many honorary degrees from universities such as Oxford and Yale, which makes the 3 years I spent here feel pretty redundant. But yeah, this is the place where I actually studied.
So, what do you see?
A wall?
Good, yeah. But what's running through the wall?
A crack.
Amazing. What's your name?
India.
Whoa, yeah. Ah, what a beautiful spiritual name. Have you ever been to India?
No.
You should go. Not to discover India, but to discover you, India. Yeah. So, we've got a wall with a crack in it. But what's on the other side?
Good question. Tone, what's on the other side of the crack?
A window. Great, yeah. So, we're really getting somewhere now. We're breaking through the wall and looking through the windows. I mean, fuck, there's a world out there. Yeah? Let's get up and touch the walls.
Come on, everybody up. You too, Tone.
How does it feel?
Cold.
I'd say, on behalf of everybody, that your talk was truly inspiring.
Yeah, you had a real honesty about you.
Thank you. You know, if you ever need any one-to-one tuition or anything, get in touch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it there. Well, then one more round of applause, please, for Holly. That was amazing, and you're such a gifted artist and orator.
Thank you, Gil.
Was I the only sane person in there? I mean, that was bullshit, right? He couldn't even string two words together.
Yeah, it's an accident. Mate, that was the pen. The pen. It was the actual pen.
Gravity, like full on eclipse.
Yeah. So yeah, man, solar.
Tell you about my work. Yeah, I mean, my latest film, Eye of the Needle, features a girl digesting, shall we say, these foodstuffs that resemble familiar corporate logos that by the end of their journey have taken form. We see the girl sifting through her effluence to discover what's left. I mean, I'm using these abstract forms to articulate something more concrete. I mean, I'm not trying to change the world. I'm just saying, hey, look, this is what's happening. I'm trying to wake people up.
Oh, we were actually asking about your work here as a university lecturer.
Yeah, well, totally. I mean, I am all about my work with these kids. A lot of them come here with only a very basic knowledge of films. And by the time they've left, they've had the opportunity to see well over 100 films. I do weekly screenings. Yeah. But not only that, but we're in a constant back and forth. Education nowadays is far more democratized than it used to be, and we're taking in far more working class kids than we're used to who are taking up film. And it's up to me to give them the tools to enable them to articulate themselves and their work to a fine art audience.
So, Rube, what have you got for us?
Yeah, well, last year I did a project called My Little Pony, where I did detailed drawings of My Little Pony on my genitals.
Jeez, that's sick.
Yeah. Well, basically I was examining nascent sexuality and asking questions about gender roles, given through children's toys.
So irreverent.
So this year I'm going to be looking at misandry.
What's misandry? Sorry.
Basically going to be looking at gender roles, but it's female sexism.
Okay, yeah, I mean, so really quite controversial then, kind of like a post-feminist critique.
Yeah, cool. I mean, how are you going to talk about this? Have you thought about the images that you're going to try and get?
I'm going to use durational shots, yeah.
Good, because I do like things that go on for too long.
Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt ice cubes in slow motion until my balls are numb, as if I've been castrated by the matriarch. They wouldn't be able to feel them, would they?
No, you certainly wouldn't.
So, do you have anything to show us yet?
Yeah, just give me 1 sec.
So, what does everyone else think of this? I mean, in the meantime.
It's just, I'm not really sure if you're challenging yourself here, Ruby.
Rube.
What do you mean?
Well, he's already done the whole balls thing. I don't know, it just feels a bit juvenile. Surely there's a more elegant rhetorical device than his junk.
I don't think there is, actually.
See, maybe your face is a bit juvenile.
The fact is, Abby, Rube happens to have found his visual register. It takes some artists longer than others, some never find it. So do you think that what you said to Rube was constructive feedback?
I've got it. Can you do the lights on me? Does everyone say? My piece, Balls to Picasso, Castrated by Your Mum, is confrontational. But that's the point, an agitator.
Do you think that's the job of an artist?
I don't know if that's the job of an artist, but certainly the point of art. It's what my work does. I mean, everything I do creates discussion, whether it's making people angry, or excited, or confused. It brings forth emotions about art. And I think that's something that we've lost these days, it's just forgotten. I mean, most people say that everything's already been done, but to be honest, I think that's a bit of a lie. If you think hard enough, really rack your brain, the shit that only you can come up with, like off the top of my head. You ever seen an elephant play a ukulele? No? That was my first year film. 4 tons, 4 strings.
Yeah, I'm so very aware that I'm shaping the artists of the future. I'm having a big impact on the content of their work. Often if I say I don't like something, they'll change it. I'm having a big impact on the students' future direction. It has to be said that, contrary to giving some of them a place on the course, it becomes apparent that they don't really have what it takes. So I try and give them some gentle discouragement. Of course, there are others that just blow your mind. They're tomorrow's Damien Hirsts or Jeff Koons. These are the ones that I have to bend over backwards for. I want to say that I don't know where you got it, and I don't know how you got it, but You've got it.
Picasso was a cubist, so he's drawn balls as cubes. Actually very clever.
Thank you, Rube. That was a really great presentation. Just really great. Abby, what have you been working on?
Is it okay if I talk a little about it first? So, we have all these texts that link the desire to capture moving images or still photographic images with the Freudian idea of death drive, this notion that all organic matter subconsciously seeks to return itself to an inanimate, dead state as part of the natural order.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really interested in that idea too, so I'm hoping to explore how it links with the presentation of filmic time and real time and memory in turn. Yes, sorry.
It just feels a little too, you know? I thought we talked about this after your last project, about trying to make your work a little bit more real, you know?
Well, this is what I'm really interested in.
I just don't understand why you have to make every crit so morbid. Death, death, death. Ooh.
I noticed you don't mention many female artists.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd love to have the next Tracy Eamon here, but I just think that women find art quite hard.
Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. Live fast, die young, bad.
Love the shoes. I believe this is yours.
Little pig, let us in! It's the police!
The third little pig is now being taken into custody, so the spotlight is once again shone on the grey area of homeowner owners' rights to protect their properties.
This isn't right. The three little pigs are the victims.
Blew down 2 houses. They got what he deserved.
But the pigs went too far. You have every right to defend your property.
Kick the chinny chin chins up, fellas.
Boiling someone alive hardly constitutes reasonable
Somebody is going to break the law and intrude on you.
You can't protect yourself in your own home.
A man's home is his castle.
If someone tried to blow my house down, I'd do the same.
I knew the wolf. There's no way he could have blown down those houses. He had asthma.
But the wolf had asthma. So what's the truth about the pigs' houses being blown down? Inside job.
There's no reason why those 2 houses, one made from straw, the other from wood, should have collapsed. Not even a healthy wolf's huff and puff could bring them down.
The 3 little pigs have confessed to conspiring to commit insurance fraud, framing the wolf in an attempt to cover their tracks. Their motive was financial, as they struggled to keep up with their mortgage repayments.
Guilt. I can empathise with the pigs.
I'm behind on my payments too.
How could this have happened?
I've lost everything.
It's a new day at art school, and Ludmilla is taking the kids on a trip to meet an actual artist.
Guys! Okay, so we're here, Karen's gallery. Obviously, she's a really close friend. We met in Cannes last year and just really hit it off. So if you've got any questions today, you can feel free to leave me the mediator. I will pass them along to her and you can ask anything that you need. So let's go in.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. I mean, lovely to introduce a friend, my student. So, how are you?
Yes, nice to where do I know you from?
Can, of course. Do you remember?
Oh, yes. Lovely to see you. Have you met Karen?
Yes, I do.
You do? Yes. Actually, you guys must work together.
Yes, yeah. We do, yeah. So, exhibition is fantastic. I'm very excited to be here. Obviously, you'll need to check out fellow artists' work, and this looks great. You've done so well for yourself.
That's right. You're an artist too?
Yes. You said you liked my work. Can I show you some photos outside?
Yeah. I thought, I'm sure.
Yeah. I actually thought some of your work was a bit inspired by mine. I kind of had the same feel to it. So.
Everybody has their own interpretation. Mary, what do you think? I mean, you've been looking at everything.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I think the students are really going to get a lot out of it today.
It's so great to hear. Works very closely with the student. I mean, you must know that, but
obviously. Yeah, and she's a great assistant, so it's really...
Assistant?
She's there to help, of course, so...
You sound a lot more like a teacher, a mentor, even, than an assistant.
Some people call us mentors, don't they? I think we've had that bandied around, so it's lovely to be able to, work with the next generation. It's very exciting, it adds a lot to my work, I find.
So what did you have to do with all of this? Because I've been talking to Mary and you organised everything. Actually, we spoke on the phone, I think, at one point.
I mean, Mary's obviously detailed, that's her area. I'm kind of the inspiration, the passion, the excitement, really kind of getting the students excited about coming down. I mean, details, bus times, that's your area really, isn't it? So.
Right.
Okay guys, come take a seat. so Aaron has very kindly agreed to a special screening of her films, kind of a mini retrospective. So over to you.
Thanks very much. So hi everyone, thank you very much for coming. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay for the whole afternoon because I want to make some business calls and things. But just some business associates. Okay, so as I was saying, so I won't be here for the whole afternoon, but I will be back later, and then we can go over everything that you've seen, and you can ask me any questions. Please be kind. But I'll see you then. All right. And any questions that you have,
just ask me. I will pass them along. So any questions?
Okay, great. So I will see you later. Enjoy. Summer clean, yes, enough to keep this place up and running. But I certainly didn't come straight out of art school and then skyrocket straight into superstardom. Satchmo Klein, he's a one-off, But I don't think that he'd be where he is today without some really clever self-publication, and he's been extremely good at it. I think success for an artist is largely, well, for any business actually, it's about your marketing. It's not really your talent. And as a result, you've got a lot of galleries that are really very empty. They're full of art, but they're empty of meaning, invention. People are quite happy to repeat, what's come before them, quite literally, in fact.
I make every single element of my work by hand. You know the famous Satchmo pineapples? I grew them myself. I cross-germinated a Satsuma with a pineapple. Satch apples.
They're not really concerned with what you make. It's more about you, the artist, this myth of being the artist. It doesn't really matter what you do, just so long as everybody's pretending, so that you can sustain this kind of bubble of being seen to be an artist, of being seen to have art. It's got to the point where now everybody has to start pretending because there are a lot of very important people who've put a lot of money into it. Me personally, I would be much happier, I think, if I weren't actually to make it. I think I'd rather keep working as I am now. I don't really want people valuing my art as a commodity. I want it valued for its content. It's a question of integrity, yeah.
I've got some bad news. So I'm afraid Mary won't be at today's session. She's being investigated under the Digital Economy Act for video piracy. Now, I've been advised that the police may want to talk to some of you over her alleged offences. I say alleged, but of course we all knew what she was up to, so I suggest that you all go home now and wipe your hard drives. Okay?
What? That's ridiculous. What's a hard drive?
Mary, if you are watching this from prison, I'm coming for you. I have assembled a legal team. We will fight this.
I
She did give me a
I have loads of stuff.
Yeah, but it wasn't
It
like a cheating way. It was to be helpful kind of
She gave me
way.
like 15.
Yeah, she gave me quite a few as well.
Yeah, but it was to be helpful. It doesn't count. That's not illegal.
Well, yeah, I feel like stealing something from
She wasn't-
someone. Like, that's
she wasn't
rich and
stealing
giving
it.
someone
She's
poor.
This is bollocks. So does that mean she's not coming?
Guess so. I guess that means we can go home.
Yeah.
At least. So
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
I hope I have deconstructed to you somewhat the myth of the art school as the main maker of art makers. Next week on Becoming an Artist, we talk internships and inheritance and what the latter can do for you.
Tell him he comes back and works, or he up. Right, bring him on!
Ego has no place in art.
It was terrible, sir. Not only unfree, it was really terrible.